So I store pepper in this little thing. As you've seen in some of my videos, I take peppercorns and I grind them in this pestle and mortar. It's made out of cast iron. I find a lot of people say only fresh ground pepper is good. I find you grind it and it keeps really well for a couple of weeks anyway. It still has that wonderful fresh ground aroma and flavor even after a couple of weeks. So this I ground about 2 weeks ago now. Just going to put a little bit in there. Let's see, it's starting to thicken again. It's just about to start to boil again. And boy, that's going to be a wonderful flavor. Let's just give it a taste test here in a second with the salt and onion and pepper added to it. It's thickening up, as you can see. Now as it sits, it's got a few minor chunky things in it, but they're very small. I don't think the boys will balk about that. I did have my hand blender here ready. I was going to potentially blend it to get rid of any chunks, but I don't think these small chunks are going to be a problem for the boys. Let me just taste that. Wow. And yes, I am licking it and putting it back in there, but that's boiling hot, so any germs from my mouth are going to be taken care of pretty readily. That wouldn't cut the mustard in a restaurant, of course. If I were doing this in a restaurant, I would be doing something different. But yeah, if you ever came over for supper, you may be subjected to something like this, that where the spoon has had my mouth on it. Just so you know. Wow, that has got just a fantastic flavor to it. I actually don't think I'm going to add any of that liquid to it. I could, if I wanted to, thicken it up a bit more by adding a bit more flour to it. We'll see. It still hasn't really come back to the boil yet, so it may thicken up quite a bit once it comes back to the boil. We'll see what happens. But if you want to, I could dilute it with liquid, put a little bit more flour in it to help it thicken. But the flavor is so rich right now, I don't want to dilute that flavor, I don't think. That's just perfect. It's still very much the flavor of the deer and the beef, and that's local grass-fed beef. It's part Angus, actually. The bull was Angus bull and Hereford cows. So it's a very gamey flavored meat. The fact that it was grass-fed as well mixes really well with the deer flavors. Wow, that is just a fantastic sauce. So I'm going to serve tortellini that we get from a local place for supper, as well as some fresh local asparagus. And where is it? And I also have, last fall, we made some of our own cream corn. We bought a lot of the local corn on the cob here, and probably this year I will do a video on it, but that's my own locally made cream corn with local corn. The boys love corn in all its various forms. They love cream corn. Not sure how they're going to react to the asparagus for supper, but they love the tortellini. So we're going to serve tortellini with sauce, with this sauce here, and locally made, homemade cream corn and fresh local asparagus for supper. This is just, oh man, that is so good and so simple. You see, it's just some drippings, broth that I saved with a little bit of fat on it, salt, pepper, and a little bit of my own powdered onion, and that's it. You've got a wonderful sauce here, just a gorgeous sauce, and that's all there is to it. It's nice and thick now. It's thickening up. It's still watery, of course, but it's thickened up pretty nicely. I don't think I want to do a single thing to it. It's just rich enough in flavor. Yep. Oh man, I could just drink that whole thing. Honest to goodness, I really could. That is such a gorgeous flavor. So what I'm going to do... Alright, so I've got a mason jar right out of the dishwasher. I'm going to turn this off. It's got a nice boil going to it now. Just beautifully thick. Oh wow. That is just incredible. It really, really is. So, that's turned off. This should pretty well fit in that mason jar, if my calculations are correct, as they say on Magic School Bus. Now, I won't lick anything at this point because it's not going to boil anymore. So, much as I'd like to lick this spatula and then dip it back in the pot, and as much as I wouldn't be worried about that with my own family, we share germs amongst ourselves unless somebody's sick. I'm not too worried about it. I eat leftovers off the boys' plates unless they are sick, as they have been recently actually. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. That is a nice sauce, or I would call this a gravy as well. Just beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. So, there's still a bit left in here. Nothing that's been in here has been licked, but I am going to actually lick out the pot with the help of my friendly spatula. Oh man, that is so good. That's how easy it is to make gravy or sauce or something like that. It's all homemade, all, let me see, with the exception of, well, the salt and pepper aren't local ingredients, the onions are local, the broth and everything itself was local. Very easy to do this kind of thing, extremely yummy. Why wouldn't you do it?